Oh man, talk about sadness for days. What is that guy doing? Man, what's happening? We're going 1964 style today, baby. I'm taking you to it's a cemetery. What a surprise, huh? But there's a couple of funny little stories at this cemetery I just wanted to share with you guys. I reckon you'll find them as funny as I did. Them old timers had like a real dry sense of humour, even in death. So I'm going to take you there and show you. It's yet another beautiful day on the central goldfields of Victoria with continual soiree. So let's get after it. I'm nearly there, man, so let's go. Come with me. Come on. We're going. So in a nutshell, I'm just going to bring you my findings. This cemetery is a real masterpiece. It's true blue central goldfields. So it's you know, it's got some of the first settlers. It's got a real mix of stuff going on in here. I love it. To me, this is like one of the greats. It really is. It's got even the way that it's laid out. It's got a lot of geographically, like it's got a lot of highs and lows, ups and downs. It's not just a flat barren paddock like a lot of them. If you have a look around, even in the background as I proceed with the video, you'll see that it's got a lot of shape. It's got a lot of contrast, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. It's not flat. There's so much charm and character here, if there's such a thing when it comes to a cemetery. I know that sounds a bit weird, but you know what I mean. I never cover late model, I call it late model death or modern death. I'm not interested, it's not what I do. The sadness of current loss is too much for me. I really cringe away from it, and I think deep down we all do that. But the old school stuff, man, I love it. I love going down that. I love going down that rabbit hole. You know, like trying to figure out how somebody got there, or where they were from, or how they came to be, what they did with their lives. I just find that, yeah, it's epic to me. Let's get to it, man. This is one here that I've found. Have a look. It's old. I'm telling you it's old because I can tell that it's old just by looking at it. But it's Marguerite George is her name. She died at Castlemaine, 1878. She was only 44. This was erected by her, it says, affectionate children. Things like that. What a rabbit hole to go down. Like, 44 is young, mate. 44 is young. I am telling you, this one right here, man, this thing is a classic. Absolute classic. Take notes on this one. In memory of William G. Shegok, I reckon it is, I don't know, S-H-E-G-O-G or C, Shegok. Anyway, old matey William here, he died 14th of August, 1893. He was 94. So he was kicking goals, right? He done real well. But here's the kicker. His beloved wives, plural, wives. Yeah, that's right, wives. Jane, she was put here in 1859. She was 58. And then another Jane, 1891. She was 66. He got both of them in the end. Is that like an old school pimp? It kind of is, isn't it? Like, true love never dies, and I guess he never stopped loving the first Jane that went in the ground. But then he added the second one there and then followed them in there himself afterwards. What the hell is that? That's wild, yeah? 1893, so he was in there last. Not many years after the second Jane. If she went in the ground here in July, 1st of July 1891, He was August 1893, so he didn't last long, only a couple of years after his second wife was laid to rest here. That's a story, mate. Epic. Don't you reckon that's epic? Look at that. Seriously. Modern day, that wouldn't happen, I don't reckon. But back then, it blows me away a little bit. Does that not, I don't know, does that blow you away? It's like an old school pimp. Like, no pun intended, but that's wild. Have you ever seen a headstone like this one? It's like in the, obviously it's supposed to look like a pillow. This is a story of devotion and faith, I reckon. Like a lot of these graves, the stories are all told backwards, so pause it if you like. Pause it and read it for yourself and try and make some sense out of it, because I've been standing here for a few minutes reading it, trying to make some sense out of it. But Percival Atkin, he's the son of George and Milvian. So Milvian's the female in the scenario, George and Milvian's Smythe, right? So Percival, he died in 1857, he was only 8 months old. So George and Milvian, as a partner, as a married couple probably, they put young Percival to rest here. He was, I'm assuming it was a he, was 8 months old. It looks like 10 years later, that was in 1857, the first little kid goes in the ground here, but 1867, 10 years later, they put a 2-year-old in here, so 2 years and 10 months. Josephine, that was the daughter. Yeah, so little Josephine got put in there 10 years later. Tragedy had struck this poor family. So 1867 saw 2 children in the hole. George Smythe himself passed away in 1882. He was 65. But then, I don't know who this James guy is, James Aitken himself. He got put in here in 1861. He was only 33. He might have been another son. He might have been a son that died at age 33, which is pretty young. But how's the devotion at the end here? This is the kicker, right? Elizabeth Milvian, which is back up the top. Her real name's Elizabeth, which it states down the bottom, but she obviously preferred to be known as Milvian. So Elizabeth Milvian Smythe, she passed away in 1914 at age 83. So 1914 is 28, 32, so 32 years after George. And she still met him here in the end. That is devotion. Epic, epic devotion. And this is what remains. That's a wild story, man. I love stories like that. It's a grouse story of tragedy and devotion, and they come to in the end and they pull it together. That's epic. That is epic. Don't know that that happens much nowadays. But back then, epic. All right, here's another bit of a cracker. Young Sidnan was his name. He was only 1 year and 8 months old, and the parents, John and Elizabeth, laid him to rest here. That was in 1867. 1872 saw the death of their daughter, Elizabeth. She was 13 by the looks of things here. 1879 saw the death of John himself, the father. 1896 saw the death of Elizabeth herself. She was doing okay. Well, without getting the pens and pencils out, she probably wasn't doing okay, but she's outlived John. So John and Elizabeth are here, so that's the family of 4. Edward Victor in 1914 makes an appearance here. He was probably a son because he was 43, so he's survived the first 4 and been laid to rest here anyway. Although it doesn't say that, it says that Edward, 43 years, he's buried at somewhere else, some cemetery in Kew. So he gets a mention, but he's not actually in here. And then their daughter, Katie Uphill Burnett, in 1934, it says down the bottom, "I shall go to him, but he shall not return to me." So there's a big, it's kind of another one of them defiant ones, man, of like devotion, you know, they all end up together in the end, and that's pretty epic. It's another epic one, really. The ground in this cemetery is quite bad. You can see they're all getting a real lean on them. I've covered some of that in the FW Commons special, how bad some of the ground is that they mount the monuments on, they're all starting to get that real, hey, they're doing well for 150 years old. I'm being critical, but some people, this is their method of trying to save it. You can see this is actually sunk quite badly down here. There's quite a sinkhole there. And then, yeah, these guys are cutting some wood to prop it up, and then these guys are cutting some wood. This one's smashed up real bad, eh? Like, look at this. A couple of old branches there. I doubt that that would be done by the, that's not done by the caretakers here. That's done by the family at one point or another, I'm pretty confident. It's not really, the last interment here is not really that long ago. What are we talking, 1947? Like, in the scheme of things, it's not, it's, you know, it's coming up 100 years, 90 years, whatever. It's not super old, but it's getting to that point. It's not old, is what I'm trying to say. It's really not old. Like 1947 in the grand scheme of things is not far behind us at all. Like, it's really only a pinprick in the ocean if you look at the evolvement of time. Some of these can be really old. These are slate. What do we got going on here? 1869, aged 28 years. Geez, they didn't get much of a crack at it, did they? 36 years. Man, that's a shit run. Really shit run. A lot of these old school ones, they didn't get much of a crack. What do we got here? Henry Lane, 14th of November, 1874. Guy was only 19. And then his sister, Mary Ann, she was 11 months. Man, that's sad, eh? That's shit. 19, and then his little sister, 11 months old. Imagine the tragedy of the parents standing here. They've stood here, mate. This is what I see. I see the tragedy of the parents standing here, like the sorrow of them. You can almost feel them here, you know, laying their kids to rest so young. 19, right at the tip of his prime, you know, like going after a career, you know, going after girls, becoming a young man. Obviously got sick and died and thrown in a fucking hole, let's be blunt. Richard Hills, 37 years, erected by the Castlemaine, I don't know what that says, amateurs, erected by the Castlemaine amateurs. So Richard Hills had something to do with the township of Castlemaine. There you go. I like to find the, when you sort of do a little bit of a scout around the old cemeteries like this, you can see the really early slate ones. They're like I've showed you guys in videos before. They're generally, they're like a sandstone, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. And when I stand here and look out that way, I can see, probably not going to be able to point to it too good. I can see one here out in the middle, which I'll show you guys. There's one here, which is pretty old. And I'm just approaching one here, which is probably not as old. And it's really not, yeah, 1885. Look, it's got some years on it, don't get me wrong. 22-year-old in here. Also, the sister, also Sarah's sister. So we've got Sarah Johnson, 1885, she was 22. Her sister, Mary Jane, 1906, aged 44 years. So again, not very good. Not a very good success story here, sorry, it's just not. I'm gonna go down and check this old sandstone one. Yep, sandstone, like I was saying. You can see the, yeah, you can see the damage on it. This is the problem with these, it's more like a slate. It's not sandstone, I'm not giving it the right name. It's like a slate. You can see on the side here, it's really chunked out of it. Like, if you started to flick at it, you could flick pieces off of it. Like, you never would, but you know what I'm saying, like it's that delicate. I can't even, 1865 is the only year that I can see on there. I can't really make out who's even in there, unfortunately. How do you reckon the drought's going? Some big cracks here. Starting to open up real hard. Got this little sheet metal grave going on here. There's no name. It's just a little homemade, I don't know, memento somebody's erected. Probably later, probably much later, somebody's come back and put that there. I'm only guessing. It might have had like porcelain lettering glued to it, possibly. Obviously time's taken it out. Time takes everything out. In the end, time comes back and it reclaims what was put there. Like it happens to everything in the end, like it all just, I don't know, Mother Earth just comes along and claims it back. Maybe slower than, rather than quicker, but it does. Another early one in absolutely superb condition. Anthony Hutchinson, another sad story, 30 years old, 1862. The condition of that is absolutely flawless. I don't know why. Has it been erected much later on? But I don't like to touch them. I don't fiddle with them in case they, you know, yeah, you don't damage stuff. The condition is, yeah, dude, epic. Has that been erected like afterwards, do you think? Because it's the same composition as the earlier ones that are so damaged that they're inaudible, we can't even read them. But just absolutely superb quality, like crystal clear, deep etched writing, unreal. And like I was saying before about, you know, how the grounds have got a lot of contrast, like this is almost in like a valley. There's a lot of new burials up over there, which like I said before, man, I don't entertain none of that. I'm not interested. And then it sort of washes off, like up over into the bushlands up over here, washes off down into the valley a little bit. You can actually see a massive kangaroo down there jumping around. He's a big boy. Now there he is down there. He's bouncing along. I don't know whether you can see him. He's just going in front of that car right now. Yep, he's coming up the road actually. He's looking straight at me. Probably coming for a punch up because they love that. Funny bugger. Yeah, you stay over there, I'll be happy. Good boy. Yeah, no, he's doing a U-turn, he's out of there. How's the old trees, mate? They're just beautiful. Look at them. They even cashed out and put a little chair there. So you can sit there and, I don't know, reminisce. Bloody beautiful. These guys are over here in the shade. That's not cool. Yeah, that one's on the ground. 1901, 1871. Taken a pretty serious tumble. They've all taken a bit of a tumble. There's another one over here that's taken a big tumble. You see that a bit. Big mound, no headstone. Not everyone gets a headstone, you know. What vintage have we got here? 60 years, 1873, 1909. Everybody on this one got a good innings. I'm just looking at the ages, 79, 72, 33, that's pretty poor. 64, 76, poor Thomas down the bottom, little guy, 10 years old, 1882. Would have been bad water or something, I bet you. Drinking creek water. Poor buggers. Took heaps of them out, mate. TB, tuberculosis, all that sort of nasty shit. This one is a bit creepy. Check the creepy one out. I reckon these ones are creepy, mate. Look at that. I don't know what it says on the side. 53 years, I see. 1884. It's got some age on it. 1884. Them ones give me a creeps. I see them around a bit. They're like a upside down tomb or something. I don't know. And the rabbits have been giving it curry around here as well, digging burrows and shit everywhere. Oh, here's a hole. Interesting. Geez, that's caved in hard. Mulverhill Dwyer, Mulvihill or Mulvihill Dwyer. R.I.P. That's all it says. Quite a hole. It's probably, I don't know, half a metre deep. Bit of a tomb looking one up here. What is that? Got something written on the side. Sacred. Henry Fitzsimmons, age 62, erected 1882. 1882. Double-sided. 18th of December 1882, age 75 years. That's a big bit of concrete. He didn't want nobody getting into him, did he? You have to dig down and around to try and grave rob him. He's probably buried with a lifetime supply of gold bullion or something. It makes you wonder when they go and put such a big slab of concrete on the top of it, doesn't it? Like they never want to get nobody near it. Just beside the road is another one of them creep show ones. It's not as creepy because it's not in the form of them crosses. But I just reckon, I don't know, I don't like it. It's actually, I'm not trying to creep show you out because it's only dirt in under there, but it's, it has sunken down in there quite a long way. But it's not all solid. The edges are just sitting there. So it's made in quite a few components. I never realised that. I thought that they were all solid. But yeah, no, that's hollow. Because it's clearly caved in a bit there. It's probably only me that would go up and have a look. Nah, you'd go up and have a look as well, you would. Curiosity killed the cat, you know, like everybody's curious. So they don't want to know, but they keep looking. It's like they're scared of the answer, but they keep reading. That's what that is. That's why you just want to have a look. Look, I'll give you another look. Look at that down in there. Can't see, can you? Because it's all dark. But you wanted to have another look. Don't deny it. You wanted to have another look. Just be honest. Yeah, well, don't go and get yourself lost in the cemetery. A couple of these sandstony looking ones I could see from the other side of the cemetery. 1861, 47 years old, looking unto Jesus. So they were super religified people even back then. Probably more so than now even, like everybody was religified. And that shows, man, because all around the goldfields here, the whole district is just covered in, which I'm going to cover at a later stage too, but it's just covered in churches, all different denominations, am I saying that right? Denominations, but all, you know, there's Baptist church and anyway, there's heaps of them. I don't follow it, so I don't truly understand it, but I would like to. I would like to know more about it. And you see so many churches, so they're just endless. Like some little towns, like townships now that have got 300 people, they've got 6 or 7 churches of all different shapes and sizes. They're not all big bluestone, you know, monolithic joints, but some of them are just little weatherboards and they still stand and they're still cared for to this day. So yeah, very religified is the moral of the story. Back then they seem to be very, very religified, man. We're heading to the woods up over here. I don't know what's over there, but it's sort of in the edge of the woodlands. But on the way, I just want to check out some more of these. I keep calling them sandstone ones, but yeah, this one's pretty hard to read, mate. Wow, 1860. I see 1860 there. 18 years. Poor bugger. 18 years. It's not enough. It's not enough. Another sandstone one, 1860 again, aged 37 years. Hannah. To the memory of Hannah, wife of Robert Gillespie. September 29th, 1860, aged 37 years old. That's not enough, mate. Makes me mad. We got here another one, 1861. Memory of Oswald Thorpe. That's a cool name. Oswald Thorpe. Departed this life February 6th, 1861, aged 30 years. We're not getting to very big innings here, dudes, but I've read a lot that the average lifespan back in the gold rush times was 40. So if you got to 40, which is, without giving too much away, that's, you know, it's about my age. If you got to this age, you were considered an old boy, you were respected, you were given a chair, much like we would do to 70-plus-year-olds now, you know. You hold the door open for them, you give them your chair, like if you're at a convention and the chairs run out, you stand up, you offer your seat, all that sort of stuff. You know, it's not even old school, it's just common sense manners. Just, I'm off track, but you know what I'm saying. Like, moral of my story is that back then, to get to north of 40, you were like, you know, the godfather of the town, or even women, like even women, even an average seamstress would be long gone by the time she got to mid-40s. It just was really unheard of to sort of go too much further than that, you know. People did, it's not like it didn't happen. Super rare though, super rare. And a lot of it's probably just medicine, hygiene, lifestyle. Not that lifestyle now is very good, like most people abuse their, you know, most people treat their body like they've got another one, like the doctor knows how to fix it. I was just talking to a buddy the other day and we were talking about it, and he's quitting smoking, and I said to him, I said, you know, we've all got to get off it eventually. You can't just treat your body like the doctor knows how to fix it, because this is where you wind up. They don't know how to fix that shit. You know, you treat yourself bad enough, they can't fix it, mate. This is where you come. There's no turning back. Anyway, I'm just dribbling as I'm walking. Made it up over here to the bush. I want to see the big one. You know, the big ones can be cool. They can be boring. They can let you down too. But let's go, mate. I want to check it. What's the big one say? George Clark, 74. He was a colonist. His wife, she got to 80. Yeah, it's like a family one. It's a Chinese one up the back, pretty fresh. I can't read Chinese, so I'm not going to go up there, but, and that's, that thing there's Chinese related too. Don't know much about it, but I believe that that's Chinese. Up the back here, I think a lot of these graves are Chinese. In the gold rush times, a lot of the first settlers were Chinese, so a lot of them were Chinese diggers. Check that. I can't read Chinese, so it's got like a red font script. They're Chinese writing. It looks cool, man, especially that old. Super cool. But they're like the first descendants on Australia. Like they were here digging and trying to find wealth and, you know, find solid ground. I'm a little bit undecided on this section of graves on the fringe edge of the bush. So the cemetery sort of runs through the middle. We've got this section off to the side, which would be a denomination. It would be a religious denomination of people, which you'll probably say on that sign, I'll tell you in a second. But I do notice there's a lot of graves here that are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's probably 40 of them that are unmarked, probably half, fair to say. They're all graves through there. Minimal to no markings. More down the front, minimal to none. None all through here. Either side of this gully, right up that strip. All burials, look at them all. Burials right through, mate. Either side of this little gully here. None, like none, no label, no, nothing. Not even a number. Not even a number or a wooden peg with a number, nothing. That's pretty out there. The ones up on the very edge of the bushland up there, I don't even reckon they're that old. That style of grave's probably, I'm guessing from here, probably 60s, 1960s, which is really not that old. It's not that old when there's ones down there that we were looking at before, mate, that were like 1860. What's this say? This will say something. No, it just says section L. It doesn't tell us what the, yeah, unfortunately it doesn't tell us what the religious culture is of the people that are in here, but that's how they arranged them. Most of these graves were arranged by that, your status of religification, I guess you could call it. Did I say that right? Status of religification. What a tongue twister. I only went to year 7 in school, so they're big words. I got lost with this one. It's, you could almost put it in a modern death category. Kind of, not really. I say that loosely because the last interment was 1973. You can see the the gold on the side, which is like a pretty new in scripture. But we've got James and Annie here. Annie actually died first, 1871. 1894 saw James placed here. But whilst they were alive, 1861, 1868, 1868, they lost all their children. David, Daisy, Charlotte. Charlotte was 2, Daisy was 4. David James, he was 2. So they put some little kids in there, but then there's more little kids on the side. Also, more beloved children, W.A. Redfern, David, he was 1. Laureen Isabella, age 6. James Albert, aged 19 and a half years in 1903. So it's like a family, it's definitely a family deal. Stupid comment, but you know what I'm saying. But it seems that maybe the brother or something of James carrying that Redfern family name, maybe his, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they've just bought a plot and they just keep throwing people in it, and that's the most cost-effective way of doing it. And not only that, they all get to stay together, so. Turns out that Emily must have been super important and super loved. She got a pretty epic monument here. It's starting to take quite a lean, as you can see. But Emily, she was the beloved wife of Alexander William Robertson. She died at Castlemaine on the 23rd day of May in 1865, and she was only 24. I'm assuming by the size of the plot here that there was other people interred. No mention of anybody else on the sides. Perhaps it's all there for her. If so, who was Emily? Because that would have been worth more than most people's properties, probably a whole street of homes combined back then. You know, I was just thinking to myself, when they put these trees here, they would have been like cute little shrubs. And I wish you could smell. You know, if video could give us that scent. It smells amazing around here at the moment, under these pines. Look at the size of these things. They just, I don't know, they just smell amazing. We should creep around in and around here. I did notice before, there's a couple of graves that have been, well, pretty well obliterated by the growth of these here pine trees. No writing here, but that's because the writing under this big tree here, like it's massive, that's because the writing is there. And I wonder if this little tree was just a neat little, maybe just a neat little clipping like this. Here's a good example. Just a neat little clipping. You know, we just plonk it there with the graveside. 1860. And then it became that. I'm only clutching at straws. Thomas Ray. He was from Ardstraw, wherever that is. Oh yeah, somewhere in Ireland, I see. 1860, he was 27 years old. Thy will be done, it says. Yeah, well, that's a shit result. 27. Look at that. It's the same. It's like exactly the same. No writing here. Look at the size of the mound. I know it doesn't show up on camera, but the writing's on this side. What do we got going on? Elizabeth Jones, late of Brecon SWA. I don't know what that is. Who departed this life 28th of April 1860, aged 31 years. May she rest in peace. That's another shit result, mate. 31 years. What do we have over there? 27, 31. That's garbage. What was going on here? Some kind of mad plague? Look at the size of the mound. That tree's really ripping it up. 29. Boom, boom. I'm gonna make my way up the back here a little bit, just have a little bit of an exploration, because we can. Let's have a look at these couple here. Richard Somerville, 43, put to rest in 1863. This is nice. These have actually got writing on the stonework here. It's getting lost to the ages, that's almost gone. That's pretty deep. Benjamin, son of Catherine Paul, died in 1861, aged 6 years and 10 months. Also their son departed at age 29. What do we got on this side? Benjamin Paul, age 78, that's getting better. Age 83, that's getting better. That's getting better. I think that's the parents of this one. Benjamin and Catherine. Yeah. Benjamin and Catherine Paul, yeah. So Benjamin was the son. Yeah. Benjamin and Catherine Paul were the parents. So the son was named after his dad. His dad lived a full life, he got to 78. Mum lived a full life, she got to 83. It's a bit of victory. There's a little bit of victory. It's a cool little plot. Anyway, we're heading up the back real quick. This one is taking a tumble. Big headstone. It's never going to stand up forever, is it? There's a few here that are taking a tumble. What do we got? What do we got? Don't know. 1860, 14 months. Another one 1861, age 4 years. Another one 1863, age 4 months. Somebody else made it to 35 years old. That's terrible. That's terrible. This guy here's taken a real tumble backwards. It's a bit weird. This one's gone that way. That one's gone that way. Old mate down the front here, unless somebody straightened it up. They probably have, let's be honest. That's sitting pretty good. Pretty good. What do we got on this one though? I can't read any of this. The moss and the... You could clean it and read it. I'm not gonna. But it could be read if you cleaned it up. Got a gully flowing through here. This joint must flood pretty hard. It's like a... Back in the day, they were probably frolicking for gold in here. The same day the people were burying the dead, they're probably digging for gold in here. That's how full on the Wild West would have been back then. Not the Wild West, but the gold fields. It's another one of those creep show ones. 1896 and you got to 64 years of age. I kind of feel like a lot of these up here aren't as old as they look. 1917, 1944. Some of them over there are getting way more modern. If they're not modern, they've been erected after the fact. There's another one of the metal ones there. Look at that. Full metal. Must have been someone around making them. Another one there. Boop. Somebody must have been making them, because there was that other one that we saw earlier, and I thought that it would have been erected after the fact, but maybe it's not. Maybe it was a bit of a thing. Geez, the ground's bad around here, eh? Real bad. What's this big guy? Oh, there's a million people in here. 81 years old, 56. It all looks sort of normal. Good luck lifting that up. Take a few blokes to get that thing back up. Another beautiful tree. Look at this tree. I hate to go and get all greenified, but this thing's a masterpiece. It's bloody beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And just, I don't know, it offers some kind of peace in the cemetery because of the smell too. You should smell it around here. It's as calm as a, I don't know, like they said on Titanic, calm as a mill pond. What is a mill pond? I don't float boats, so I don't know. Whee, that's creepy. The family vault of William Dunstan. Look at that. The family vault. I've never seen something called that. The family vault. What? Oh, there's a hit. I gotta read this. No, sorry, I've got to read this. I just want to know what it says. He called it a vault. William Dunstan, 5th of June 1909, age 74, and William James, aged 19, and then Elizabeth Emily, aged 38. So yeah, okay, so William Dunstan obviously copped a bit of tragedy because he's lost what I would think would be his son and his wife. Son at age 19, his wife at 38 here. Shit result. Family vault. That's cool, man. That's badass. I don't think he meant it to be, but it is. Got some more burial plots that are getting eaten up by this beautiful old tree. 1924. It's probably about the time that this tree started growing, to be honest with you. That's 101 years ago. You tree people out there, do you reckon that tree would be 101 years old? Easy. I don't even need to be told. I reckon that would be every bit of that with bark on it that thick and a girth like that on it. How's that vault? Wow. Can't get over that. That was cool, man. Oh, birds flying around. Frightened shit out of me. You see stuff out the corner of your eye in these joints? I don't really get the creeps in here. We've had that conversation before. It don't really bother me. But if something moves around a bit, yeah, that bothers me. Wow, look at this. It's quite a mess, rather, isn't it? Quite a mess. Geez, they're not real neat when they fill them back in after they keep throwing all these people in. Just throw a bit of dirt in there and then just like sit the concrete slabs back on. You wanted to look in there. Like I said before, don't make out you weren't interested, because you was. You was keen as shit for me to walk over there and point that camera in that. You wanted to see what there was. So did I in a bit of a way, but I didn't want to. But I did. These are creepy. Yuck. I don't like that. They're like lead flowers or something. They're made out of, is it like a, yeah, I don't know. It's like a lead. Almost forgot to show you guys too. The caretakers of the cemetery here, you know how when the graves and stuff fall over and they obviously get lost and misplaced and I don't know what goes on, but you can see the size of a place. You know, it's very hard to allocate a name and a tombstone to every burial, especially as hundreds and hundreds of years go by. So what these guys have done, every time they've found one, you know, that's unaccounted for or whatever, they've lined the driveway with them. I don't know what most burial places or cemeteries or whatever would normally do, but this is what these guys do, and I reckon it's epic, man. Like, some of these are super old. I did see one here before. Yeah, 1869, 1906, 1862. Like, this is getting some age on it, mate. 1857, Louis Berger, 1857. Geez, that's got to be getting as old as some of the oldest graves literally in the state. I'm not sure that I've seen any older than 1857. Maybe, that's up there. But yeah, like, how cool is this? Little Eva Thornwell, aged 8 years and 2 infant sons. Some people have had some tragedy, haven't they? But that's been lost. So it's within here somewhere, but we don't know where. 1860, 35-year-old, so on and so forth. So there's not many, there's probably, I don't know, 30. 24-year-old here, 1859. Geez, that's getting old too. It doesn't even look that old. That's another one of them ones like earlier, them slate ones, you know, they're just in epic condition. It's got some big chunks missing up here. To be honest, it looks deliberate, like someone's been hitting it with a pick. Probably not, but that's how it looks to me. But the inscription in it is absolutely flawless. You could pass that off as being done last week. Like, no shit, you could literally pass that off as being done last week as a job for a client. And it's 1859, 1858, age 13 months, 1881. Oh, it's a rabbit hole, dudes, it's a rabbit hole. I just wanted to show you. I just thought it was super, super cool. They line the driveway on the way in here. Super cool, mate. That's pretty much a wrap here, dudes. If you ever come to Castlemaine, seriously, come and check out their cemetery. I mean, it's probably not on everyone's top priority tourist destination list or whatever, but it's worth a look. Don't bring the kids, but come and have a look. It's one of them old school, pretty untouched, pretty, I wouldn't say it's unkept because that's not true. All cemeteries are kept to a degree, otherwise the grass would be growing, you know, up past our heads. But I think you should come and check it out. If you're ever in the district, pop in, check it out. Have a look at some of the headstones, some of the dates in here. It is an iconic, original Goldfields, Gold Rush time cemetery, like the original old timers from, it's right in the heart of our goldfields, mate, and we had the biggest goldfields in the world. So these people here, they helped build everything that we know now. And that means something. Well, it means something to me anyway, and it should mean something to anybody that lives here. These people are the first settlers, you know. It's where it's at. A lot of the people in here, they came from, a lot of them came on boats. Obviously, a lot of the children were born here. They were the first people to be born here, but most of them are first settlers. And they're boat people, call it whatever you want. You see a lot of Scotland, you see Wales, you see like a lot of places that I've certainly never been to, written on a lot of the tombstones, you know, like a lot of people have come from there in search of a better life, and they've wound up here. And it's epic. I have a ball walking around here trying to piece together people's stories. And if you guys have watched this far, I know that you guys have enjoyed it too, because hey, it ain't for everybody. It's not, ain't for the faint-hearted or whatever, but it's life, man. I love looking into our past, so I appreciate you hanging out with me for the video too, dudes. It's always good to see people sticking around till the end. So I got to get out of here. It's time to split. I'm going to take the old girl for a bit of a run back home now, and hopefully it doesn't conk out and leave me rendered for a tow truck. Thanks for coming along and hanging out with me. Till the next one. Bye, everyone.